Hello, welcome back to the YouTube page for Northcomm Technologies. Today we're going to discuss a new item that we're introducing to the market, the SBI-1. The SBI-1 is a small, lightweight interface device designed to work with Motorola XTL and APX mobile radios, either in the dash mount or remote mount configuration. The SBI-1 connects to either of these radios with whatever control head your radio is provided, and it allows you to turn basic radio functions into hard logic outputs. The SBI-1 was first debuted at APCO 2016 with this gun lock assembly that we have next to us. What we wanted to do is we wanted to show fleet managers for large police departments or public safety agencies how something like the SBI-1 is useful to them. One of the things that we can do with the SBI-1's logic output is we can remap any of the control head buttons of a radio, such as this APX 7500, and we can hide a combination or a simple button press to unlock this gun. So I'll show you how easy this is to do. We have two demonstrations on the table today, which are as different as could be, but very practical in the public safety environment. As a former police sergeant, one of the things that I am keenly aware of is officer safety and security. Now, most police agencies today carry some kind of a long rifle or shotgun in their vehicle, and agencies have struggled with how they hide the lock for that vehicle to avoid unauthorized access to the weapons. Now, what is not currently available is a way to simply and quickly deploy the weapon based upon something that most patrol cars have, which is the radio. So, for this demonstration, we have programmed the SBI-1 to identify the selection of one of these control head buttons and unlock the weapon and hold that lock for 5 seconds. And in the case of this radio, we simply told the SBI-1, recognize a double press of button number 9 and unlock that weapon for 5 seconds. So I'll demonstrate that. Now, as you can hear, that weapon is unlocked. And now you might have heard that it's relocked, but you also saw that that light went away. For the very safety and security conscious agencies out there that have multi-button control heads with numbers like this, we could program the SBI-1 to unlock these weapons based upon a code only known to the agency and the authorized members of the department. We can also keep it very simple, and we can just have one unused button be toggled and unlock this weapon. But the fact of the matter is, we can hide that button lock in this radio with the SBI-1 without modifying the code plug or the radio in any way. And that's sort of a point I want to hammer home. There are competitive devices out there that allow you to unlock the guns and other devices in the vehicle through the radio's COM port with relay boxes and the like. The problem is, you have to change the radio's code plug for any function that you want to add or delete. The SBI-1 can be field programmed by an unskilled technician plugged into the radio without modifying the code plug in any way, and the data that this radio puts out can then be transmitted to our gun lock or other device. Other functions of the SBI-1 include more sophisticated things such as carrier-operated relay and PL detect. As we developed the SBI-1, we quickly came to realize that APX and XTL high-power radios don't provide the end users with a logic output for either COR or PL and DCS detect. If your agency wants to deploy a small ruggedized field repeater using these top-tier mobiles, you wouldn't be able to do that without opening these radios up and making hardware modifications. Because the SBI-1 connects to the radio's COM port and monitors the microprocessor at all times, we're able to take that data and turn that into our hard logic output. So this radio here is programmed to transmit an on-channel signal to this APX 7500. So you can see that the radio is receiving, and one of our logic outputs is illuminated. And right now, this SBI-1 is going to send a logic output to your device saying that carrier-operated relay is active. If I change to a channel that's providing both DCS or PL and carrier, we see that both lights are illuminated. We are therefore taking the microprocessor data and translating that into hard logic output data that can be used by any install shop or any radio technician out there. Next, I want to take you through a video demonstration of the SBI-1 software so that we can understand how versatile this box can be. And I also want to mention that as the SBI-1 is made available for sale, we are also able to provide custom software configurations to those individuals who want to identify receiver states, radio conditions, or other states that maybe we hadn't thought of. Everything in this box is definable through software and firmware upgrades, and the SBI-1 does not have to come back to us for any of those upgrades. Those upgrades can simply be sent in an email file and uploaded in the field. I want to go ahead and demonstrate the software package that comes with the SBI-1 because it is through this software package that each SBI can be custom configured by the end user. And as you can see from the demonstration here, we're simply using a USB cable from the SBI over to our Panasonic Toughbook running Windows 7 Pro. Let me zoom in on the screen so you can see what the SBI-1 software looks like. So I've gone ahead and I've read the current configuration of this SBI-1, and as we can see, output number 1 is a 5-second timer based upon a trigger of button press number 9 through a double click. That was the demonstration that we just looked at where I unlocked our weapon by pressing button number 9 twice, and the SBI-1 relocked it after 5 seconds. Output number 2, as you also saw, was CSQ detect, and output number 3 was PL or DPL detect as sent to a logic output on pins 2 and 3. If you look over to the right, you can see our box for custom text. We could, for example, set a 1 or a 5-second timer based upon some custom text that was displayed on the radio's control head. That's the example where we said maybe I'll have this radio be some kind of a remote control device for a firehouse station alarm or some other type of supervisory acquisition and data application where we can page the radio with some sort of a secret code word or a custom message, and that radio will send a command to the SBI-1 that becomes our hard logic output. That is all configured right through here. Now, one of the things that I didn't get into when I was demonstrating COR, PL, and gun locking was the fact the SBI-1 can also send information to the radio upstream. So let's say we wanted to change channels on this radio remotely in a determinative manner. What I mean is, what happens if we want to have this radio be at some remote location that is not easily accessed, but we want to change from channel 1 to channel 10. We would simply select channel 10 on the executable software, and we would press send, and the radio will change from channel 1 to channel 10. In addition, it'll also change zones. Now, in the configuration that you have on display, we're using a laptop computer to send these commands. We could also use a logic signal to send a channel change command for situations where there is not a client computer at a remote site. Other configurations for channel change are available upon request. If I go back to the settings feature and I want to make a change like custom text, I simply go to the write button and I write the new configuration to the device. The SBI-1 is written, and no further action is required other than to confirm the new configuration works as required. Now, as new software releases and new firmware revisions are provided for the SBI-1, all of those changes can be deployed in the field through this software without having to return the device to us. So now that we've seen the software that the SBI-1 is programmed with, it's pretty clear to see how powerful this one little box actually is. Very simply stated, the SBI-1 allows users to get additional functions out of APX and XTL radios that were never provided from the factory. And most importantly, we provide these functions with a factory-provided communications port. Therefore, the SBI-1 requires no modification to the radio's hardware or software. This way we can ensure that we're not interfering with the way the radio was designed to function. Just to demonstrate one of the changes that we made when we were playing with the software, I decided to remap the emergency button of this radio as a single press to unlock our gun. The gun is now unlocked. We can access it for 5 seconds, and it relocks on its own. Any of these buttons can be made to do that. Finally, I want to give a special thanks to our friends at Nav TV in Coral Springs, Florida. Northcomm Technologies and Nav TV have collaborated together to develop the SBI-1 and the companion software. So we want to recognize them and thank them for all of their hard work. For those of you who want more information about the SBI-1 or custom configurations for this device that may not have been demonstrated in the video, please visit us at our new webpage, northcommtechnologies.com. Again, that's northcommtechnologies.com. You can contact us there through email, or you can find our phone number where we'll be happy to answer any of your questions 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. You should also check out many of the other custom-made devices we provide in the two-way radio and public safety marketplace. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.